How's it going, YouTube? Come on in today with another video, and today, guys, what the video is going to be the mid-season ban list prediction. Now, we do know that we're getting a ban list by next month because the end of August was the last ban list, which means the end of November is going to bring in the new ban list. I do think that it's going to be after Anaheim, though, so we'll just have to wait and see how the event goes, how cross-out breakers will go, and just move on from there. I do think that it's really cool, though, that we are getting a lot of new cards out of Bonanza, which is unfortunate as well because of the fact that the last time we got new cards, like Baron as a reprint, it got murdered immediately. So I think that's going to happen again. So just be careful with what you pick up from Bonanza, because I think that it's fine if you play like Fire King Pier or like Rescue Ace. But if they're banning Flamebirds and you pick up the entire Snake as a meta deck, it's going to feel kind of bad. So just kind of make sure that you're being cautious with your purchases moving forward, because of the fact that we are getting a lot of the different reprints coming up very soon. I do want to do a video closer to when we should be getting an expected ban list, but as for now, we're going to be talking about what I could see happening moving forward. But the first thing here is just going to be the Dragon Rulers. I think that'd be really cool just because we haven't really seen the Dragon Rulers in a while, and they're not really doing anything now anyway, so it's fine. But overall, I think that these are cards that could just be at 3 and then hopefully something happens with them. I think 3 title and like the Mermail deck would be really cool because it's already a 7 and you could combo with it and Foolish a free water, which could trigger like a Dragoon and do a couple different things, or even like a bodyguard. So you could do quite a few different things with title alongside the other ones. So hopefully we see some really cool innovations with the Dragon Rulers. The next one here is going to be Invoker. I want to see this card go to 1. I think this card's really cool. It's not really doing a whole lot. Talking about things that are Earth, banning the Hunter, because I want to see the party build brought back. Honestly, Zenmighty is fine. I think that if you're worried about the hand loop, then you can just go ahead and ban Hunter. Because we have Mulch Armies, we have Impulse, and I don't really think that Hunter loop is going to be possible in 2024. Obviously, it's possible, but I don't think that it's going to be, like, necessarily that good. Same thing with hand loops. I think that Moulin Glacia should also just get banned. I think Minstrel's fine because it's a temporary banish. And it's only not a temporary banish if you're playing things like the Deep Sea Diva Synchros. So not really that relevant. I think that just having these gone is just a really healthy direction for the game to move away from the hand loops. And having things like Zenmighty back is just a really cool way to enjoy the wind-up deck again. Deck Lockdown. This is the worst offender I've seen since Skill Drain, and there can be only one. This card is making 80% of the decks in the game right now just pass. I think this card is absolutely absurd. I've been playing with it quite a lot lately, and every single time I activate it, it just seems like it's game immediately. So definitely a card that I just want to see gone, or at least at 1, with the other floodgates, because you shouldn't be able to have 3 of this in your deck, because the second you draw 1 or even 2, it's pretty much game over. Right now, a lot of people are not playing the massive blowouts, they're just playing Cosmic. So if you do end up with like 2 of them, right, that's pretty awful to deal with. Colossus could just go to 3. I don't think it really matters. I think Thunder is just so far gone right now that maybe it makes it somewhat playable, but we'll have to wait and see. Heavy Storm could go to 1. I don't think it matters that much. I think if anything, it makes the Unchained deck a lot better, like the pure Unchained deck. Which would already struggle with like Fualos, right? Because you go like Heavy Storm, pop 2, activate 2, chain Fualos, and you're like, oh, that sucks, right? So I think that Heavy Storm is probably just fine. Just another back row blowout. I mean, we already have quite a few. Not really too concerned about it. The next one here, this is going to be where I draw the line in the comment section, because I already know half of you are going to be like, absolutely, and half of you are going to be like, absolutely not. I think with all the Mulch Armies, we should have this at 2. And if we're going to keep Shifter around, this should be at 2. I think that's fine. I think that Called By is much more than just an interruption on a hand trap, but I do think it should be at 2. This is something where we are getting so many cards right now that just are turn ending. Lancia, Droll, Shifter, just all these things that just should not be a thing, right? And if you're really worried about decks like Yubel, then you can at least Call By and like Phantom. If you're against Tenpai and they're forced to go first, and then you can like Call By the Seal and they can't do battle phase shenanigans, things like that. I think that Call By could go to 2. It's just going to be a massive divide in the comment section, but I think that this is one of the things that could save the game right now and be a little bit better. But I definitely think that Called By is a card that a lot of people don't like, a lot of people do like, and it probably should be at 2. Sekka's Light, why is it still at 1? Why? You can't even play this in Super Heavy Samurai. It's so bad. At least you could do a cool pile with it in some regard, right? I think it's fine. Give it back. Tip and Fountain. Runic cards are the most unhealthy cards in the game. I think that these cards are the epitome of bad card design, should not be around. And for everyone who's like, but what about the cool combo decks? Instant Fusion's at 1, and a lot of people argue it should just be banned. This deck has like 8 Instant Fusions that you can just keep recycling and like double or triple Fountain in a turn. Not okay. Not okay at all. I don't like that whatsoever. I think these cards should just be gone. If you limit Fountain and limit Tip, I think the deck is fine. You can just leave Riddick forever where it's at. But for now, I don't think that 2 and 3 is anywhere near where they need to be. I think that we should be banning Lancia and we should be banning Shifter. I think that if we ban Shifter and Malice doesn't get the extra kick for Shifter and other decks too that just abuse Shifter, that they also can't get Lancia. I think that Droll is fine. I know a lot of people are going to roll their eyes on that. But I think that Lancia and Shifter are objectively just the worst offenders because of the fact that they're just like draw phase, immediately just throwing them down. And there's not a whole lot that you can do about them. At least you can respond to a Lancia with the crossout or called by at all times because it's only your opponent's turn. Shifter, there's a lot of times where you literally can't do a single thing about it, which is really unfortunate. But if we're going to be banning one, I believe in banning the other, especially with the fact that Lancia can definitely just shut down a lot of different things right now. And even Ritual Beast right now being shut down real hard by like the Molcharmies. I think that there's some kind of trade-off there by saying that banning Lancia is probably okay as well. Talking about Ritual Beast, ban Protoss. I think this card's super unhealthy. It's really bad card design. It's something that just literally does not need to be a part of the game. It was already banned once. It was brought back, and it's still not okay. It's literally been stealing game after game after game, and it's something that just needs to go away. Jackalope and Snake, they can go back to 3. There's not a whole lot of things that they're even being done with right now. I don't really see a problem. If you're going to be playing Danger Dark World, sure, you know, whatever. I think that's fine. So that's something too where like I don't really see the issue with those. They can just be where they're at. Heat Wave, just because it's Heat Wave. It's essentially Cold Wave, but for monsters. Shouldn't be around. It just is a free turn skip. Flameburge. So my snake hits would be Flameburge and the Wanted poster. I don't really think that much more needs to be done. I think this is fine. If you ban Flameburge and you limit Wanted poster, you essentially make Snake into an engine which ends up just being 3 Bonfire, 1 Poplar, 1 OSS, which gets you into Fire King cards or into Rescue cards, which I think is perfectly healthy and it's a-okay. I don't think that we should have Block Dragon that has extra effects legal for longer. I think it had its time in the meta. It should go away. You can still keep a lot of your fire decks intact and do a lot of different things with them, but as for now, they need to go away. They need to not be a deck. They need to not be a deck. Dryden, it could go back to 3 tomorrow. It wouldn't matter. I think it'd be really cool to have a card like Dryden in the game again. I don't know why it's still banned. Personally, if you know a reason as to why Dryden should still be banned, let me know. But, like, there isn't one. So, like, go ahead. Phantom can just go to 1. I think Phantom to 1 is fine. I don't really care about Yubel too much. But I think that if you do end up playing against Yubel and they just spam Phantoms, it's really ignorant. So I think just putting it to 1 and just being like, listen, it's not an extender. It's supposed to be an end board piece. There you go. I think that's fine. So putting it to 1, I think, is objectively just correct. Gold Sark to 2. I think this is fine, especially with Malice coming out. I think it helps the deck out a lot. And it gives you another option, especially even like Ritual Beast if you want it. It's just 2. So not 3, but 2 for now. Just move it up a little bit. Ultimate Offering can go to 3. No one cares about this card. If you're playing Flu, you're playing Flu. It's going to be annoying either way. Especially, like, ban the Featherstorm finally. This card is so ignorant. It is so bad for the game. Just absolutely get rid of this. Same with D-Barrier. I think D-Barrier just should have been gone a long time ago. If you want to play a deck like Ryziel and your opponent's just like, here's a D-Barrier, right? Like, that just sucks. Better draw a cross out. So I really do hope that this gets gone quick, because that's something that is just going to cause a lot of non-games. And nobody likes non-games because they're not fun. Paint can go to 3, that's fine. Fenrir's at 3, so Paint can be at 3. Tiger could go to 3 and it would just be based. It would be very, very cool. And then Into the Void, because it has a harder downside than Upstart Goblin, and Upstart's at 3. So why is this still at 1? Makes no sense. I know this is a lot of cards, but this is all what makes sense in my head right now. We went through the whole ban list and we're talking about quite a few cards. Just trying to balance the game around what we could be seeing and make it a little bit healthier. But as of right now, this is where I'm at. I would love to hear all of your comments down below on what you think could be changed on the ban list, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you.